Yes, Professor, we welcome you to Kitgum, and we want to understand your presence at the Kitgum Municipal Council office today.
Thank you very much. Uh, Members of the business community, especially the ones who are at the margin of the business undertakings, raise concerns, which some of you are aware about the nature of taxation, the level of the taxes they were paying, the lack of procedures and processes which should have been followed, and according to them, that generated anxiety and instability in the business area where they're operating. And they raised concerns directly with Operation Wealth Creation. They called me a few times to raise their concern that the new forms of taxes, the way they perceive them, are being put in place without community participation. There is no community involvement. There is no spreading out of the message. What exactly is taking place? Why is taking place? When is taking place? Okay, so they felt left out of that. There was no consultation. Number two, that the new taxes in their mind, what they're being asked to pay now, is being carried out without valuation. There was no valuation done whatsoever. Someone from somewhere at some point declared that the computer which they invented as an idea generated this data. Okay? No consultation. This is coming, the petition from the business community. Number three, that this is almost like those of you understand, for example, one of the causes of the Maji rebellion, we did this in the P7, Singapore, was the brutality with which the Akidas, the tax collectors, collected taxes for the people. What they're suggesting here is that you have people who coerce them, who intimidate them, who harass them when they collect the taxes. And what it means, therefore, the tax collectors are engaging in forms of illegality. This is number three of that concern. And then the fourth one, which is somewhat tied to the third one, is the grading treatment. That the tax collectors, or those who come in front of offices, not outside of the activity of the town clerk, are very arrogant. They look down upon them. The treatment they get is in the language is degrading. So, given where they are at the margin of the business community, they are not big business holders. They felt that now there's no one who's willing to listen to them. That issues were raised. The RDC tried to mediate. The town clerk was on board trying to figure out how their interests could be accommodated. But all of a sudden, when the situation was supposed to be frozen, the status quo was supposed to maintain, some agents again went harassing them, demanding payment, when nothing should be done at this particular moment. Okay? So this is the outcry. Then they came around, they contacted me, for example, and said, wait a minute, just a while ago you guys were here trying to mobilize support for the president. Now that we voted for the president, the government is coming now to kill us, get us out of business. Okay? And so that is partly why we are here.
My name is Manda Joseph Mabonza, the town clerk. Yesterday I received a call from Professor Ogenga that there is a conflict, there is anxiety over taxation regime in the municipality. But this was not the first meeting. I think 2 or 3 weeks back I received a petition from traders of Kitgum Municipality raising 4 issues. They can remind me, I think they'll remind me. But what they can remember, one, there are 4. The issue of trading license, waste management, signage, and registration fees. We received that petition immediately. We called the executive of the traders. There is an executive of the traders headed by The chairman is not here now.
Wilbur.
We called him.
Wilbur.
We sat in a meeting in my office. The whole executive of the traders and the whole of my technical team, we discussed and reached some level of agreement. The biggest complaint was the traders felt that in some instances we seem to have doubled the license. But we explained that one that in addition to the taxes set by ARAS, there are 4 other taxes that we add on the rate that is set. Maybe I need to go back and tell you what is ARAS. ARAS is a system that was developed by the government of Uganda. After observing that, for example, there was cash collection by the people we send out in the field. They collect cash and it doesn't reach the coffers, or they may declare less than what they have collected. And that was a disservice to both parties, the traders on one part and the government on the other. So government put in place a robust system, scientific system, together with working with the local government finance commission, a computerized system called ARAS, Integrated Revenue and Administration System. That's the meaning of ARAS, Integrated Revenue Administration System. So this system is a computerized system, so a trader will not pay cash to a person, will just be given what they call the PRN, and he pays direct to the bank, or can even use his phone or her phone. So this system came to streamline tax administration, so that either way no one loses. Government gets the due share, and you also pay the right tax. The Minister of Trade and Industry, I think like 5 years or so back, graded all towns of Uganda in terms of size of the urban authority, in terms of streets, in terms of items you are trading, and put in place a standard rate for each, per street, per item sold, mark the size of the business, put it in place, which is documented. So we realized that on either side there were people making mistakes, and we said the RDC actually directed that we continue in engagement. We agreed within 7 days we shall have another meeting, educate you about ARAS, even give you the documentation that sets the rates per road, per size of business, per town. So that was the next step, which should have been held 2 days back. But it has not been held, but it will be held, I think, on Monday.
I'm known by names, Ogenga Castro, one of the business people within Kitgum. And we are the people who are trying to fight for the vice that the town clerk and his team tried to impose on us. We are not objecting the taxation that they have raised, but we are against the methods that were being used. One, we're not sensitized, no assessment, but they would just come and force you all of a sudden to close your door without even. So when they issue even a PR number for payment, they tell you pay there and then. Yet that system works for 21 days. That's when it expires. So when you advise them, they are very arrogant town agents who are collecting those taxes. So, which we are requesting the town clerk should be observant when he's sending his people to the field. And on the other hand, on the issues pertaining other issues that were raised, all along, assessment were issued, and we would not object to that. Signage, signposts, we are aware of all those things that we normally pay in due. But when they came this time without even an assessment, and all of a sudden they're closing our doors and so on, shops, so that's when we rose up to say, no, we are going to fight the vice. But we are not objecting any form of taxation. We are ready to pay all the taxes. And that's why we know we have the roads, lights, out of that money that we generate. So our appeal, the town clerk with this team should harmonize everything. Maybe next week when they are communicating to us, everything should be in good state.
They say they apologize if there are people who have harassed you. But I call upon the business community, either in secret or openly, bring them to me and the action will be taken.
My name is Ali Walter. It happened that I'm also a businessman in Kitgum. My major concern that people are really sick on RDC, together with my dear town clerk, is the issue of the harassed. That is integrated revenue accounting system. For the layman people to understand it well, I just want to put it, it's like a ATM card without any transaction. It's like a chip card that has been made by MTN, and you buy it, and you start putting in the name of contacts of people that you have to call. And we do research to find out how the harass is working in other parts of the country. And it is so bad that from here our businessmen are being misled or given false information that it is Ministry of Trade that has put us, all those who are along Kitgum Road, they are supposed to pay 400,000. That's the wrong information. I wanted Mr. Town Clerk to be clarified. Why is it that the traders in Mukono, the traders in Jinja, the traders in Yumbe, the traders in Arua City are paying less than 70,000 in a harass system compared to Kitgum, which is just an upcoming municipality? Yet those cities, those municipalities have busy trading areas.
How much are you paying?
Here you will find that somebody who has been paying 150 is now paying 400,000 because of harass. Who has paid that 400,000? Is it the real finance people in the means of trade? And that is the kind of system that we say. To me, first of all, the RDC will instruct your head of finance to erase, let me use that one, to make the harass system to be empty. And when you're feeding in the information for the taxpayers to obey, please feed it accordingly, comparatively with other parts of the country, so that we move well. Because this issue of chasing away the people, the Wanaizi of Kitgum from business, so that other people from outside the country come and benefit when the actual people of Kitgum cannot. Because the way they are saying, if you could not afford having business along Kitgum Road, leave it, go to Westland. Is that how you could tell the people who have made this city? Why? Because without a businessman, you cannot see town, a good town. For us, we are in office. You can't put any building to make town be a city. So let us respect the businessmen, because they are the engine of growth, they are the engine of this economy. And once we never support them, we shall not move anywhere. I've been talking about government incentive. You cannot go and mill the heifer or the cow before you feed the cow. One RDC, together with town clerk, I'm very happy that Professor is also here. Let us advocate for the traders in Kitgum municipality, so that whatever government incentive, including tax holidays, including those government support, like what we've given to Gulu businessmen, about 300 million or 3 billion to the business, let the people of Kitgum also benefit on those government programs. So that from there, one town clerk, you can go to them and say, you pay tax, we have really supported you. But how can you go and start milking people who are struggling with life?
I am Oyo Walter Kumaket, the Deputy RDC. For the last 1 week or so, we have been handling a tax dispute together with the municipal authorities and the taxpayers and the traders of Kitgum municipality. This dispute is arising out of strict implementation or enforcement of the IRA system, but also arising out of lack of tax education and sensitization, which has made traders in Kitgum municipality not to be part. Their participation has not been brought on board. Today was yet another meeting out of the many we have been holding, and we have come up with very good action points. One, on the issue of brutality and corruption by the tax collectors, the staffs of Kitgum municipality and the divisions, we have agreed that through the town clerk, serious disciplinary actions are going to be taken against culprits and against the errant members of the technical team. But also too, we have agreed that Office of the Town Clerk is going to extensively carry out tax education and sensitization so that to bring in the support, cooperation, and participation of the taxpayers in Kitgum municipality so that there is harmony in the business community and in the relation between the taxpayers and the municipal authorities. These actions are geared towards normalizing tax collection and payment in Kitgum municipality in accordance to the law. On the rest where Kitgum municipality has a discretion of setting, the mayor and the town clerk have assured us on Monday they are going to listen to the plea of the traders and adjust these rates up to appropriate level that will sustain the businesses of our people in Kitgum municipality. I want to call upon all the members of the business community to join hands with the municipal authorities and with the office of the RDC, who we have been mediating this dispute, so that we resolve this matter once and for all, so that the town settles down and people concentrate in business. I don't want to leave without thanking the traders for peacefully bringing out their grievances to the authorities, to office of the RDC, to municipal authorities, to my senior colleague, Professor Otunu, Ogenga. This is the way to go, because as Ugandans, when there is an issue, we should act in a civil manner, in a civil way. And I'm sure the authorities in this country shall listen to each and every one who has issues that needs to be addressed. I thank you so much.